bracing the core or engaging the abs. What does that actually mean? It's not sucking in. A lot of times you'll hear the cue of pull your belly button to your spine, and while that can be accurate, it can also be really confusing if you don't kind of know how to do that. A lot of people think that that's going to mean sucking in, so you're kind of puffing up your chest and just pulling everything back. That's not quite what we're looking for. Think about if someone's about to punch you in the stomach or like little Pillsbury Doughboy you. Hoo-hoo! Okay, you tighten up the muscles, okay? So just like you can flex your bicep, you can flex your abs, and that's what we're doing. And by doing that, it's providing very necessary stability to your spine so that you can safely engage in a movement, and it also will help you get so much more out of your weightlifting, whether you're doing body weight, whether you're doing heavy lifting, anywhere along that spectrum. Properly being able to engage your abdominal muscles is really going to help you out safety-wise and performance-wise. Some ways to practice this: if you get up against a wall, stand with your feet like 6 to 10 inches or so away from the wall. You're going to have your butt, your shoulders, and your head up against the wall. So there's going to be a natural arch here in your back. You should be able to stick your hand there. You can even put your hand there at first to help with this. So you're going to do that same thing, like you're going to flex like someone's going to punch you in the gut, and you'll feel your low back press against your hand. So you can practice this movement, then remove your hand. Now you have a little bit more space to move. Same thing. So you would deep breath in, exhale, contract, brace that core. And once you have that down, you should be able to continue breathing in and out while you have your core braced. The next step in proper core bracing, especially when we're talking about with movement, with exercise, is understanding the way that the breathing actually works from the pelvic floor on up. So there's kind of this cylinder that happens, okay? Our diaphragm, most of us know about the diaphragm. It's the muscle kind of that separates our lungs from our organs and our abdominal cavity. When we take a breath in, the diaphragm lowers down. I kind of picture like a syringe. If you pull the syringe down, it sucks the air in. That's what happens as our diaphragm lowers, it sucks the air in through our lungs. But on the bottom side of this cylinder is our pelvic floor. So as we take that deep breath in, our pelvic floor relaxes. And then as we exhale, our pelvic floor raises up and tightens. And that's the bottom of our core. So when I think about using a good core breath, another way of kind of talking about ab engagement with the breath is calling it the core breath. It involves the pelvic floor. So you want to think about inhale, expand and relax, exhale, tighten, contract. So inhale, relax, exhale, tighten, and contract. So then when we add movement to that, I like to think of a tube of toothpaste. Okay, so if we have the cap at the top, the bottom of the toothpaste tube is at the bottom. That bottom represents your pelvic floor. The cap is like your mouth, I guess. So as we do something like a squat, let's say, so I'm going to inhale, exhale, I'm going to think about squeezing that tube of toothpaste all the way up. So I'm starting at my pelvic floor as I breathe up. My abs are tight throughout that movement. My pelvic floor draws up as I do this. You can then translate that to any lift that you do. There's a little bit of a different method if you're lifting particularly heavy weight, like heavy deadlifts or heavy squats. That's a whole other topic that we're not going to get into here. But for the most part, what you need to know is inhale, relax, exhale, contract. Now that contraction is when we're tightening up the abs, like someone's going to punch us in the gut. You can especially feel this movement and the relationship of the abs when you're doing anything with your arms overhead. Because as we lift our arms overhead, it requires more core stability. So imagine I'm doing a straight arm pull down, okay? So imagine I have bands here or the handle to a cable bar machine, okay? I'm gonna get into a hip hinge so my butt is back, my trunk is nice and straight. Already in this position, my core is tight. Someone could come and hit me in the gut right here, my core is tight. The same thing if I was down in a plank position. As I reach my arms up overhead, I can feel this extra pull on my abs. So you would pull down, and it's basically like you're doing a crunch in your abs as you're pulling down. And then you come back up. Your abs are getting stretched out here as your arms are coming overhead. You're still maintaining tension though. Pull down. When you start being able to really engage your core, you're going to be so much stronger in everything that you do, because you're going to have this extra access to this extra capacity that you didn't even know you had, because your spine is going to be stable. So even then, if I'm talking about even a less complex movement, something as simple and straightforward as a bicep curl, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to stand with a nice firm base. My knees have a nice gentle bend in them. I'm going to brace my core. At any moment, someone's going to hit me in the gut while I curl my biceps. This is giving stability to my spine. I'm not losing energy. I'm able to fully access basically the capacity of my central nervous system and the muscles that I'm actually trying to work, because I have my core engaged. Once you have that feeling of being able to brace like you're preparing for someone to hit you in the gut, now when you take that concept of pulling your belly button to your spine, it means something different. So if you kind of put one hand on your belly, one hand on your back, kind of imagine your hands getting closer together as you brace your core, engage your abs, however you want to say it, like someone's going to punch you in the gut. So you can actually see my belly button is going to get closer to my spine. But I'm not sucking in. There's a big difference. There's more coming up to help you understand how to apply this actually to your workout, to your daily movement. But could you please do me a favor? If you're enjoying this, if you're finding this helpful, could you give me a like and maybe subscribe to the channel so you can catch out more content? Also check out my other videos. And now back to core engagement. A great way to start practicing this with movement is to lie down on the ground with your knees bent and do a bridge. So first off, we can start with just the core breath, right? We're picturing that tube of toothpaste, the bottom of our pelvic floor, on up our abs to our breath coming out of our mouth. So I'm just going to be completely relaxed here. Take a breath in, and then as I exhale, squeeze that tube of toothpaste. I'm tightening my abs like someone's going to punch me in the gut, or a little kid's about to come fall on me as I lie down here on the ground. Okay, from this position now, you're going to maintain that tightness in your abs. At any moment, something's going to fall on you. Somebody's going to poke you in the belly. From here, keeping the abs engaged, tight, you squeeze your glutes, lift your hips up off the floor, relax. Inhale, let everything go, repeat. Exhale, tighten everything up, squeeze that tube of toothpaste. Press your hips up. We're maintaining that tension, that core engagement. All words for the same thing when we're talking about the abs. And lower. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this helpful, please give me a thumbs up and maybe comment below what you found most helpful for you. And if you want even more on living a healthy lifestyle, nutrition, sleep, stress management, exercise, putting everything all together, please consider joining my Facebook group, Reformed Health Community, Fast Metabolism Secrets. You'll find a link to that in the description box below. Remember, reform your lifestyle, reform your health.